Do you want to come up here? Yeah. Okay. Well, can I move this pillow for you? Okay, so the multi-million-dollar question of this week has been, how did you find this apartment? What did you do? I'm gonna answer all of this, and it's actually a lot easier than you think. Basically, what I started out doing is every person when they come to New York, they were joking with me, and they were like, "Oh, Lena, you don't look for apartments months out. You look for apartments weeks out, if not 1 or 2 weeks out before you're planning to move." Don't do this. Do not. No, not true. You are going to look for a cheap micro apartment months out, and you might end up owning 2 leases for a second, but I'm going to tell you that it's worth it because these apartments do go so quickly, and if you're paying an extra $600 or $700 a month, I'm sure you can make it up in other finance decisions, like maybe you sacrifice a few weekends of going out, or maybe you sacrifice a gym membership, or maybe you get rid of X, Y, and Z subscription for a few months. I think it is possible. So it's possible to find these apartments too on the whim if you are moving out last second and you're looking for a really cheap, affordable walk-in closet. My advice for you would be to really start looking for these apartments months before your actual move-out date is. And if you're not already in New York City and you're coming to New York City, definitely start looking for these months out before your move date. And I know that people are ahead of it, and when they are moving out, that they're, you know, they wanna find a place as soon as possible, so the stress is not there anymore of, hey, I'm moving soon, I gotta find a spot. It's completely doable, but you gotta be quick. So if you do happen to stumble across one of these apartments, which, by the way, where are you gonna find them on? You're gonna go to apartments.com, you're gonna go to RentHop, you're gonna go to Street Easy, which is, I found mine on Street Easy, you're gonna go to HotPads, you're gonna go to Zillow, you're gonna go to all of them, the roommate apps, every single one. You're gonna be tenacious with finding this apartment. You're gonna be every day vigorously updating the app, updating. It's a lot, but it's worth it. It's really a chore to me to be looking like this because I knew what I wanted. I also advise for you to write it down in a journal somewhere so you have it on paper. I think it's always better to have your thoughts on paper so you actually know what you're looking for. Tell yourself your budget and your price range. I wrote down on a journal, a piece of paper, I don't want to pay more than $700 from rent. I didn't know this was possible at the time. I mean, I figured it was. I figured I would find a spot, but I didn't know exactly. You don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what's out there until you find it. I'm kidding you. The next day on Street Easy, after I had been looking for months, as soon as I wrote this down and I actually concretely had it out there in the air, in my mind, I don't want to pay more than $700. This apartment came up the next day on Street Easy. Like, true story. So I contacted the real estate girl and I was like, hey, still available, whatever. And she's like, no, it went, I'm so sorry. Called her, we FaceTimed for a while. She's like, you're so fun. I wasn't even in New York at the time. I was on a family vacation in Florida. She's like, come to New York and tour this other one that I have for you. But you better be quick with it. So the next day I booked a flight. And I was there, it's the dead of winter. I did not want to leave the beach to go, you know, see if this apartment was still sketchy or normal or whatever, but I did it because I knew that I wanted to just have more freedom to travel and, you know, take care of the dog and not have to put $10K down on an apartment, because when you are leasing an apartment in New York City, if your average rent is $2,500, $3,000, you're paying the broker fee that's also $3,000, and you're paying the security deposit that's also probably another $1,000 or $2,000, and it adds up to almost $10,000 total. And I know that a lot of people don't have that as pocket change, but at the time I didn't know any better. I just went to New York and I had saved up a lot of money. My advice to you is to really hone in on looking for an apartment 2 to 3 months out, not right before you're supposed to move. 2 to 3 months out, make really good friends with the real estate agent, the broker, the landlord, whoever is in contact with that apartment that you do find. Be vigorous on the apps, you know, apartments.com, Street Easy. Be vigorous with it, because if you're not, they're gonna go quick. And just remember that you do tour it and it's there. Have all your paperwork ready. Have it ready so that you're in that mindset that, you know, if someone else does come along, which I promise you, any apartment you find, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other people looking at it as well. The best thing you can do, because not only did the real estate agent girl like me, I had all my paperwork done. I was the first one. I had the first day. I walked in this thing, everyone else was touring it, but in my mind, I'm like, hey, no one else has their paperwork done here, and no one else did. And I decided that day, I was like, I want this apartment. I was leasing my other luxury high-rise while I still had this spot. So I was actually moving between apartments for about a month and a half, just every weekend really packing up suitcases, and they were just a few blocks down from each other, which was even more in my favor because I didn't have to hire a huge moving company. I just did it all myself. Moving is hard and you're learning everything for the first time still, even in your young adult life. If you can make this work, I would totally recommend it, especially if you're in your young 20s, even older 20s. It's totally doable, and don't think of it as a sacrifice. Think of it as you just get more life out of it. I have never had a better year than this year in this small, tiny apartment. It has been so much fun. You will have these stories for a lifetime, and I think that it's really worth it to just kind of like let go and do the unusual and not really care. Let go of everyone else's judgments, let go of what you think you need to do when you're first moving to New York City, or whoever you want to impress. Let go of it all and everything will fall into place. You're gonna end up really finding a cool spot, and there's a lot of these in Midtown, and there's a lot of these in Soho, and there's a lot of these on sublets. So cheap. I mean, you can live with roommates or you can live by yourself. The options are endless, and there's affordable housing. Many options, you guys. Just, I promise you, nothing's impossible in this city, and I think it's great that there are so many resources out there. So just all the best. I'll be here to answer all your questions. I'll be here, you know, if you're moving, whether you're moving to the city or you're in the city and you're looking for a new spot, just reach out, and I'm always here for you. So